Good morning, folks. It's Senior Pride, and this morning I'm talking about a topic that I've had to work my way up to because I'm very passionate about it. Boomer hate. Why is it that everybody thinks that baby boomers are the cause of all evil in this world? I, for one, am at close to the end of the baby boom generation. By the end of this year, by December 31st, we will all be 60 plus. Is that a bad thing? No. Are we responsible for every ill and evil in this world? No. So let's get to it. First of all, for some reason the press seems to think that they can say that every boomer is massively wealthy, owns lots of property, has millions of dollars, and everybody from later generations thinks, well, they're holding it all. Well, guess what? They're talking about some boomers, not all of us. Some of us can't even pay our monthly bills, just like you younger people. And some of you younger people, you got more than enough money. You know what? It has less to do with generation and more to do with a lot of things, like fortune. Like, for me, having disabilities was a huge disadvantage. It was more of a disadvantage for my generation than it will be for yours and future generations, because the services that you take for granted, we didn't have. We fought for. We're still fighting. You think baby boomers aren't on the front line? Oh, we are. We're the reason you've got those services. Now, are we responsible for all the mega corporations that are controlling us, that are taking away our rights, that are systematically destroying our ability to even pay for food and rent? No. Yes, there are baby boomers who are in charge of those mega corporations. There are millennials who are in charge of those mega corporations. There are lots of people. Our generation does not personally hold responsibility for the change in income, for the change in status among people. The middle class, it's gone. I'm the first one to admit that. We are a few very wealthy and a whole lot of very suffering. But the reality is, it's not totally the responsibility of baby boomers. All generations are involved. Generations before boomers started the ball rolling in regard. So don't blame us. Should we be giving you all this money we supposedly have? No! When my father died, my biological father, he had 5 children from 2 marriages. 2 of them were doing quite well. 3 of us were struggling. He left everything he had to the 2 that were doing very well. It is what it is. Nobody promised you an easy life. Nobody said, well, you were born to a boomer, or your grandparents are boomers, so we're going to give you an easy route. We did make one huge mistake in that regard, though. We spoiled you. We raised you thinking everything was easy, that you would have everything you ever wanted. Well, guess what? Life isn't easy. It's not easy for boomers. It's not easy for millennials. It wasn't easy for my parents' generation. They were the war generation. No. It's not easy for anybody. Nobody promises you a simple, easy life. And if you think boomers are responsible for your difficulties, maybe in part, but every generation has bad people. Every generation has selfish people. Look at the millennials in charge of these huge mega corporations who've created them. They're keeping billions for themselves. Are they handing it out to these rich baby boomers? No, they're taking everything we've got. That's why we're leaving you nothing. We have nothing to leave you. Do we complain when you can't repair your own stuff? Honestly, some of us do. We grew up in a generation where if we didn't repair our stuff, we didn't have stuff. You know, you had to fix the car yourself because that was the only way you could afford it. And it took everything. Men, women, everybody, all genders learn to fix their own car. All genders learn to fix their own air conditioner. All genders, we learn to fix everything. We learn to make things last. Am I wearing clothes that are 20 years old? Yes, and they're in good shape. It's amazing how many compliments I get on my gorgeous clothes because we learn to take care of stuff. You think we're just magically able to do that? No, it was It was a learned behavior. And the fact is, this is where we made the mistake. We spoiled you. We made you think that you could get new stuff all the time, new everything. It doesn't work that way. Take care of what you've got, and you're surprised your bank account will grow. Are we responsible for all the ills in the world? No. Look at what I said before. Every generation has its selfish, arrogant, ignorant people. Are we the ones who are always voting right-wing so that rights are taken away? Excuse me, we're the ones who fought for those rights. Women's rights? Who do you think was out there on the streets, burning their bras, screaming that we needed the right to our own body? The people who are voting, some of them are boomers, some of them are older, and some of them are younger. I see young people all the time going on about how Pierre Poilievre is the best thing that could happen to Canada. This is the man who wants to end support and structure to reduce global emissions. This is the man who wants to take away basic rights to birth control and abortion. So more women will die in childbirth, fewer women will be safe having babies, and we won't have access to birth control to stop that situation from occurring. This is the man that younger people seem to think is just going to be the future of Canada. And what about our lovely Premier, Danielle Smith, who has systematically destroyed healthcare in Alberta? She is a millennial. Yeah, just thought I'd throw that in. She doesn't care about boomers or anybody else. She has systematically destroyed seniors' rights. Like I said, healthcare, disability rights, education, LGBTQIA rights. She's going after trans people like she's got some sick obsession with their genitals. She's not a boomer, but boy, is she going after us. All those rights we fought for, and I'm going to go on to LGBTQIA rights, because as a member of that community, I remember a time when it was very unsafe to be out in the community and say I'm a lesbian. Now I can do that, although this lovely millennial, Danielle Smith, is taking that right away. It's not us. We fought for what you've got, but maybe we fought too hard because you don't seem to understand that we're the good guys. Okay, I'm done. Just remember, boomers are cool.